Mustang girls, it's Christine. Hey, you probably remember I'm on vacation, but I just wanted to take a moment to give you a little video huddle, something to help you get centered and focused as you think about going into the state tournament. First of all, congratulations. I'm so incredibly proud of you guys. In fact, my pride in you, your hard work, your teamwork, your attitude, my pride in you could not be greater. See what I did there? All right, so as I was thinking about you guys preparing for your first round at state, and I was thinking back to our very first huddle that we had this year. Can you believe it was November 23rd, like way back in November, over 3 months ago, we met as a group and we had our first huddle. And in that huddle, I remember asking you, what does it mean to be greater? Like, what does that mean to you? And we did some goals. So I'm looking back at my notes. This is what I wrote down that you said were your goals for this year. Win conference. Check. Beat Ballard. This was right before the Ballard game. So not a check yet. We're going to be working on that, right, this week. Okay. You wanted to work together, play as a team. Check, check. Stay healthy and not take this season for granted, right? We were at the beginning of COVID and of a COVID season and trying to figure out what's basketball going to look like, an indoor sport in this season of COVID. And so you wanted to stay healthy, to not take the team for granted. And you wanted to be able to play the season to the fullest. And I would say that you have accomplished all of those. You guys have done an amazing job keeping yourselves on the court, keeping yourselves at practice, keeping yourselves working together and growing together as a team. And so I want to just commend you for that. That is a hard thing to do. With this virus going around, you had to keep your bubble small. And so I just want to commend you on staying healthy and staying together as a team during the midst of all this so that you have been able to play your season to the fullest. And there's been no reason for it to get cut short. Okay, going back, you wanted to have fun, you wanted the season to be memorable, and you wanted to think about that you really wanted to grow together as a team. You wanted to focus on team bonding. In fact, I remember having a conversation with Kylie and with Ella as we talked about huddles and what did we want huddles to look like this year. And I remember them saying Kylie had the experience going to state and being part of the softball team and what the culture looked like there. And Ella had the experience of working with the culture on the volleyball team and going to state this fall. And they said, we really want the focus this year to be on culture. To be on how do we create that same kind of culture, that same kind of camaraderie, that same kind of family on the basketball team. And you have done an amazing job of that, girls. You can tell when you're on the court. You can tell because no matter who is in, whoever comes in at any particular moment, whoever's on the court, those five are working together as one seamless unit. So we'll talk more about that when we talk about the Ballard game. So I'll hold that thought for right now, but I just want to say how proud I am of you for how you've come together and how you have created a great culture, a culture that's a family and one that's of togetherness and teamwork. So check, check, check. But one of the goals that you said, you might be like, you didn't mention going to state. Yeah, one of the goals that you had was that you wanted to get to state. But you didn't want to just get to state, you wanted to win state. And then of course, after the loss to Ballard early in the season, that goal revised and it became that you wanted to beat Ballard, ideally in the state final, but maybe the semifinal will have to work. So I just want to remind you where you began because this has been a long season. Basketball is a long season, ups and downs. About halfway through, we just sat in the media center and we just talked like, how are you doing? Like, where are you at right now? And there were some of you that were like, I'm feeling good. Some of you were like, I'm feeling tired, or it seems like we're only halfway done. And yet here you guys are at the end of the season. In that first huddle, we talked about what were your goals, and we said, in order for you to be able to accomplish it, you need to establish a foundation. And it was shortly after that Coach Jones brought Mr. Hall in, and he did a demonstration for you, right, about bricks and mortar. And this idea that if you're going to build a strong foundation, you start with the basics. It starts with hard work, and then it's going to start with togetherness, that mortar that's going to hold everything together. So you can have all these goals and all these building blocks, and you guys have done that. You've gone through the practices, right, and all the drills that you've had to done. You've had game upon game upon game. You've put in a lot of time and effort into this season. and you've established a great foundation of hard work, of teamwork, and of faith. And that's what I also want to commend you for. You have faithfully come and done these huddles. Like when we would, originally the idea was, let's just do huddles before home games. That's what we've done in the past. And then Kylie and Ella are like, maybe we just do them every week. And the fact that you guys faithfully come and attend just shows that you want to grow not only in basketball, but also in your character and in your faith and your life. And it's part of the preparation process, right, for the game. Okay, so here's where you're at. You have built the foundation. You set the goals. You worked hard. You've played as a team. You've made this season memorable already. But what is left undone is a state championship. What is left undone is beating Ballard. Again, we'll get to that for the next game. But I want you to just know how proud I am for you of what you've done so far, but that I want to encourage you not to be satisfied. Because the goal wasn't, hey, we want to get to state. I think that you wanted to win state. And so here's your opportunity. Now, this is the game. It's time. So you get to go put all of that stuff away, all the drills and all the ups and downs and the hard work and all the games and the travel and the everything. It's all in the past now. The only thing that you have to look forward to is what's to come. And what's to come is 3 more. That's it. 3 more games. 3 more games to win state. And it starts with 1. We're going to do 1 at a time. It starts with 1. It starts now. And so go and give everything that you have. You want to finish greater than you started. Again, we'll talk about that with Ballard. But you started, the goal to this season was to be greater. And it was about being greater than last year. It was being greater than this virus. But it was being greater than the day before. So that's my challenge for you as we go into this game, is that I want to remind you that your goal is to be greater. It's to be greater than the regular season. You guys were great in the regular season. Fantastic. You only had 2 losses the whole regular season. That's great. Be greater. Then you got into the postseason and you knew that you were going to have some games that you were going to have to step up. And you guys, you blew out teams. These were not even close games. You just blew them out. You are playing the best basketball that I've seen you play all season. You're being greater. But it continues. Be greater at state. Your goal is that you want to be greater than you were even during the postseason. You want to be greater than you were during the regular season. This is the time for you to peak, and you are peaking at just the right time. To watch you in the last 2 games in the postseason, on the floor, everything was clicking on all cylinders. You were great. So be greater. Don't be satisfied. You don't want to let anything left on the floor with regrets or wondering if you could have done more. You're just going to be greater. That's the goal. Be greater than you were yesterday. Be greater than you were last week. And then whatever happens, we're going to celebrate, right? If we win, we're going to celebrate. We'll get ready for Ballard. If we lose, you know that you gave everything that you had, that you gave your greatest effort, and you can hold your heads high because of that. I want to just end with the thing that I started with, is just tell you that my pride in you could not be greater. So I'm going to be watching. It's going to be in Mexico. I'm going to have a swimsuit on probably, but I'm going to be watching and I'm going to be cheering you on thousands of miles away because I believe in you, because I love you. God loves you. He's given you these immense, amazing abilities. Use them for his glory. Be greater.